Hello, my cuties. How y'all doing today? On this Veterans Day, happy Veterans Day, and thank you to all the veterans out there. Lots of love, lots of respect to you veterans. So, today's video is on the truth of what actually happened at Amityville. Since 1977, Amityville, New York, has been the subject of multiple books, television, programs, and almost 15 movies. That's right, 15 movies. 15. However, the real story of the Amityville Horror House is rarely told in the films, which focus more on a fiction base around the Lutz family and their alleged haunting. One of the most interesting facts about the Amityville is the case that the hauntings have been debunked numerous times. The defense lawyer who initially represented mass murderer Ronald DeFeo Jr. has stated in multiple court documents that the entire haunting was a hoax. Still, the mythology of the Amityville home lives on. As we go through this examination of the facts and fiction of Amityville, we'll see that much of what takes place in the 1979 film, The Amityville Horror, and its subsequent sequels, is either a beefed up version of what actually happened to the family who lived in the house, or a complete fabrication of what actually happened of a few people who were trying to make a few bucks. What you believe of these Amityville facts is up to you. And they are presented here with the film counterparts to help us decide the truth. Sorry. Now, what happened in the movie? Now, the Amityville Horror presupposes that the Lutz family home is haunted, okay? A Satanist named John Ketchum lived in the house before they did. As a result, demonic spirits were conjured into the home, subsequently causing a series of unfortunate events. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I do apologize. And now, what happened in real life? What really happened is way worse than an alleged Satanist turning his basement into a demonic dungeon in 1974. Now, the Amityville house was the site of a sextuple homicide where 23-year-old Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. shot his mother, father, four brothers, and two sisters. And sisters. This occurred in the middle of the night, and DeFeo went to work the next morning as if nothing had happened. Now, did Ronald Defoe, sorry, I don't know how you say his name, I'm sorry, really hear voices commanding him to kill his family? Not what happened in the movie. In the 2005 or 2005 movie, remake of the Amityville Horror, Ronald DeFeo ends the lives of his family members after spooky voices tell him to. In this adaptation, funny man Ryan Reynolds portrays George Lutz, the new Amityville homeowner following the DeFeo family. Now, what really happened? Nobody knows. The true story of what motivated DeFeo to go after his entire family in cold blood. But DeFeo circulated about 9 different stories as to how and why he did why he did. Now, in some stories, he implicated a demon in a black hood that gave him the weapon and instructed him to attack. In others, he maintained that the voices from the house made him do it. Reportedly, DeFeo was heavy into LSD and heroin, and he later recanted that he heard the demonic voices blaming his actions instead on his inebriation. Now, was George Lutz really waking up at 3:15 every morning? Well, what happened in the movie? In the 1979 film, The Amityville Horror, George Lutz keeps waking up at 3:15 a.m., the actual time when Defoe tragically took place on November 13th, 1974. An intense feeling to check the remote Long Island property's boathouse. What really happened? This is one of the statements made by George Lutz that he never backed down on. So according to the former homeowner, this depiction is accurate. Where did all those flies come from? What happened in the movie? If you've seen any version of the Amityville Horror, then you know flies play a huge part of the overall horror of this movie. The scariest part about the flies is that they shouldn't be present in Long Island during the winter. What really happened? During a 1979 interview with Good Morning America, Kathy Lutz maintains that they did experience unexplainable and ferocious swarms of flies after moving into the former Defoe home. One of the Lutz children, Christopher, later confirmed this in a 2005 interview. And I'm going to go back and forth with Defoe. What was Jody, the pig demon? What happened in the movie? In the 1975 adaptation, 5-year-old Missy Lutz makes a friend named Jody, a pig demon with glowing red eyes. Although at first Jody is believed to be an imaginary companion, Kathy Lutz witnesses the demon pig's eyes peering into her daughter's bedroom. Well, what really happened? In reality, there was no Jody the pig demon, the demon pig, and This depiction was discredited by numerous parapsychologists. However, DeVio allegedly mentioned a cat named Jody that was so fat he called him Pig. Was the house actually built on an Indian burial ground? What happened in the movie? By the end of the Amityville Horror, the Lutz family discovers that the Ocean Avenue house was built on an ancient Chinook burial ground. The haunted house is then attributed to this uncanny coincidence. What really happened? In reality, the Chinook tribe didn't live anywhere near Amityville, and the house was not constructed atop ancient burial grounds. Now, did a priest actually warn the family about the house? Well, what happened in the movie is basically every Amityville horror movie. A priest shows up and usually gets his buns handed to him by the entity haunting the house. The most famous scene features Father Delaney being assaulted by angriest flies in film history. Well, what really happened? In reality, the priest that the Lutz family called Father Piccarano told a judge that he never actually visited the house. The only contact he allegedly had with the Lutz family after their haunting was via phone. Although, when Father Piccarano spoke to Leonard Nimoy on a 1979 episode of In Search Of, he recounted the story from the 1977 book, which the Lutzes had commissioned by J. Anson to write, and maintained his December 1975 experience with the house. Now, where did the green slime come from? What happened in the movie? Well, from what I found at one point in the original film adaptation of Anson's books, green slime begins to ooze from nail holes. Little small nail holes. And it both disgusts and confuses the Lutzes. The unexplained goo was received as a paranormal happening. What really happened? In 1979, the Lutzes were interviewed on Good Morning America. During this interview, George says that the green substance was not quite as it was depicted in the film, and that it more closely resembles gelatin. He explains that the green substance was initially attributed to the children. Yeah, blame it on the kids. But that Tim and Kathy became alarmed when it reoccurred. They also believed the cause was supernatural. Yeah, again, blame it on the kids. So, did the Lutz family run away after the haunting? Well, what happened in the movie is both the 1979 adaptation and the 2005 remake. The Lutz family suddenly leaves the Amityville home to never return. And the 2005 film indicates that the Lutzes abandoned the estate, left everything. After 28 days of residence, in both depictions, the family leaves all their possessions behind. What really happened? In a 1979 interview with Good Morning America, the Lutzes explained that they did abandon the home without warning, although they maintained this was unplanned. They described the intent to return after fixing whatever was going on. But due to health concerns, they did not. Who was that spooky ghost kid, guys? What happened in the movie? In the 2005 remake, a ghost depicts one of the 4 deceased Defoe's children, whereas Missy Lutz befriends a pig demon in the 1975 adaptation. Josiah, one of the 3 Lutz children, befriends a ghost named Jody in the remake. What really happened? After the Lutz family left in a hurry, a group of paranormal investigators, including Ed and Lorraine Warren, love those guys, may they rest in peace, had a sleepover in the house and tried to speak to the ghost. The ghost hunter set up a timed camera that ended up snapping a shot of what looked like a ghost child peeking out from around the staircase. While the photo is real, the common theory is that the face in the photo belongs to paranormal investigator Paul Bartz, or his nephew, who tagged along. Now, was the window actually shattered by a ghost? What happened in the movie? For a while, most of the hauntings in the Amityville Horror are your standard ghostly type things. There's lots of banging, a door flies open, the banister explodes, and one of the iconic windows gets exploded by Ghost Twin. Now, the stuff looks rather changed outside. According to the family who bought the house on Ocean Avenue after Lutz left to write their tell-all, the house still had all of the DeFeo's original furnishings, including the window that supposedly exploded. So, leave the comments below, guys. Now, what about that spooky red room? Well, what happened in the movie is in the original film, the red room that's hidden behind a layer of brick has a profound effect on the family's dog, who refuses to go near it. At the end of the movie, an ambiguous thing covered in ooze comes out of the room, almost killing the dog and Paul Lutz. The mythology proposes that the ancient burial site is connected to whatever previously transpired in the pseudo-dungeon. Now, what really happened in reality, the red room was a small closet in the basement that wasn't concealed in any way, shape, or form, except by a door. Likewise, allegations of dark connection to Native American history has been deemed debunked. So, why didn't the police do anything? What really happened in the movie? Multiple times throughout the Amityville Horror book and films, the local police are seen at the house on 112 Ocean Avenue, investigating noises, arguments, and all sorts of particular activity. What really happened? Even though they supposedly lived through 28 days of dark paranormal activity, neither George nor Kathy Lutz contacted the Suffolk County Police Department to notify the authorities of suspicious and disturbing events. Now, did Kathy Lutz really have psychic dreams? What happened in the movie? One of the main hauntings in the Amityville Horror happens when Kathy Lutz has multiple dreams about DeFeo's mother, Louise. The scariest of the dreams is when Kathy sees Louise shot in the head. Then wakes up screaming about the 1974 event, specifically the fatal head wound. Now, what really happened, well, it's totally possible. Totally possible. Although never confirmed. That Kathy had a psychic dream about the DeFeos and description of Louise's death is inaccurate. Louise passed from 2 wounds to the upper body. Reportedly, there was no damage to her face or head. Now, did the Lutzes see demonic hoof prints in the snow? What happened in the movie? Well, on New Year's Day, 1976, in multiple tellings of the Lutzes story, the family members see what they feel to be demonic hoof tracks in the snow. They believe these belong to what they consider to be an evil giant pig, aka Jody. What really happened? Well, the Lutzes did maintain the discovery of cloven hoof prints. Records show that on January 1st, 1976, in Amityville, New York, there was no accumulation of snow. Now, was there a bunch of cold spots in the house? Now, when the hauntings first began, the Lutz family has to deal with random cold spots, specifically in the sewing room where a silver cross turns itself upside down and begins to put off a sour odor, sulfur. Now, in reality, what really happened, there aren't any facts to dispute the cold spots, mostly because it's totally normal for an old house to have differences in temperatures. However, the actual Amityville priest who allegedly blessed the Lutz home in 1975 gave an anonymous interview with In Search Of in 1979. He later identified himself as Father Raphael Carano. According to the priest, the sewing room was very cold, so he sprinkled holy water to counter the perceived lurking spirits. So, my cuties, the last one. Did a babysitter die in the house? Well, in the 2005 remake of Amityville Horror, a babysitter goes into shock and passes after being locked in a closet with the ghost of one of the DeFeo's kids. Now, what really happened? Christopher Lutz says that a number of unusual occurrences transpired in Amityville house during his family's 28 days stay. But he never mentioned anything about a babysitter. In fact, Christopher expresses disapprobation at the way his family's story has been portrayed, both by his stepfather and the media. In 2005 interview with Inside Edition, reportedly one of the 1979 screenwriters came up with the Amityville babysitter character. Ah, what the hell, we'll do one more. Now, did George become possessed and try to kill his family? Well, what happened in the movie in the 1975 adaptation, as well as the 2005 remake, George Lutz becomes possessed with the angry spirit of a 15th century Satanist, John Ketchum, and subsequently tries to chop his family up with an axe. This occurs after Lutz terminates family dog. Now, in actuality, there isn't any evidence to claim that George Lutz became possessed by the house's demon or any spirit. While the family did evacuate the Amityville home after 28 days, Lutz's parents reportedly initiated this out of concern for the family's health and well-being, not due to George's behavior. Daniel Lutz also maintains that his stepfather never harmed their dog Harry. Yay! Now, afterward, the proposed haunting got out. The Lutzes allegedly convened with the Theo's lawyer, William Weber. According to Weber, he helped them capitalize on the story. I know this book is a hoax. We created this horror story over many bottles of wine. However, Weber couldn't prove his allegations, and the Lutzes have consistently maintained their version of events. So, guys, that is the end. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. And hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and smash that like button and hit that notification bell. I love you guys. See you in the next videos. Smooches and hugs. Bye!